What are you building?
We're building a garden box. Really, I'd say planter box, but this goes a little bit beyond that. So this is about $50 worth of 2x4s at Home Depot. It's 12 of them, or Lowe's. And yeah, so we just stacked them up. We cut the ends in half, so it's literally, these are 2x4s that are 8 feet long, and so it's 4 feet wide by 8 feet long. And then we just took one 2x4 and cut it at 14 inches because that's how high they are stacked on each other. They'll secure the corners, and then we'll fill the bottom here with the bedding from the pigeons and the ducks from the coop there. Then we'll do a layer of soil from where like the trees at, and then we'll go ahead and put in our mended soil that we made that's in the back there. Plant our plants, and we want to ideally get some plants that are trellising up the wall to help shade that in the summertime. But with a bed this big, we can have things that are taller growing on the back and things that are shorter, and vining plants that can go off the sides. And then also that's very quick access to the bees, so they will be able to pollinate this very quickly and also have a very close food source in the winter time and when things get a little cooler. So they don't have to fly out as far to get to the nectar and pollen and things that they need to be able to feed the young. So dual purpose too, because then we'll get even more veggies, more tomatoes, everything that will grow in here. Whatever we plant, when it flowers, they will pollinate it nice and quickly. So, but yeah, cheap way, because one of those metal totes, it was for half this size, it was $175. So you can make
It was
3
actually
of
more
them.
like a third of the size.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, so you can definitely do a lot just by getting 2x4s because they're so mass produced and easy to come by. And these are Douglas fir. They're gonna last a long time. We got the non-treated, so it doesn't go into the food. And eventually mushrooms and things will just grow on these, and we'll just have a big soil mound here once this eats away, and we can just make a new one out of stone or wood or whatever we like at that time. We got all this wood chip down here, and we have all the branches and debris. We're about to finish topping it off. So one thing you could do to make this last longer though is to take the torch and burn all the wood, char it first, and it would treat it. But this is heat treated, it'll last long enough right now. So we're gonna get the rest of the bird bedding in here. Then we're gonna put soil on top of that, and then we're gonna put our garden mix that we made up last year on top of that, and then we'll put our plants in, so the water will be able to be held in here for long times, because look at all the organic matter. All this wood is going to absorb all the excess water, and it will really help keep it hydrated throughout the year. So let's get this completely filled, and I'll show you with the plants and everything in it when it's done. So, and there we have it. Look at that. So I got the potting mix stuff that I blended up, you know, with the perlite and cocoa core and all that good stuff. I got like a 2-inch layer on top, and then underneath it, you see I got the soil, a good like 3-inch layer of that, and then underneath the soil, we gotta dig for it now, is the wood chip. See, then we get to the wood chip, and then down below the wood chip is the branches and all that. And since it's all like compacted on each other right now, it's like perfect. So the soil and the potting mix, like you see, just stirring it around, it'll all mix. So as we grow plants in here, more and more of this will, you know, blend together, and then more will be added to it too, because we'll have the roots that grow in here from the plants. We can chop them up, drop them back on each other. This is, you know, 4 feet wide here, so you see how you can reach into the center pretty well, and I left enough room to get on the other side. So we'll see exactly what we plant in here. I was thinking maybe some corn along here to grow up and block a lot of the sun hitting the wall there. And then we can do some different greens here, have the watermelons, the squashes, maybe do like the Three Sisters in here kind of combination. Let the watermelons flow over the side and cover up this area, and corn grow up over there, and then we can have like a couple zucchinis in here that we can eat off from there. I think that'd be pretty cool, and then that'll help keep the moisture in. So we have another project I was working on. You see over there next to the cherry tree, we have a bunch more of the wood chip left. I grabbed the soil from around where the stump is at, but on the other side of the cherry tree, in that little fenced off area, is all of our starts that we picked up from the local market. So we got the orange squash, the green zucchini squash. We have some watermelons in there. We have some watermelons here too that we started ourselves. So those will be great for growing over the sides. Look at the garden. Look at all the radishes coming in. And what's cool is the radishes are guarding the carrots and the lettuce greens, keeping them from bolting. But the radishes are bolting, which is all right. We're getting to them. It's been nice eating fresh radishes. It's cool, early spring now. We're not quite to June yet, and we're already harvesting things out of the garden, which is really great. And this soil too that's basically what this is just the natural earth here, and then just years of tilling in the duck bedding and growing and everything. You can see it looks fairly dry on the surface, but as soon as you move a little bit, look at how wet and moist it is down there. So the more wood matter you get, more organic matter you get in your soil, the longer it's going to hold that moisture in. Look at these. This is all tomatillos. They all came from the seeds last year. See, we got some little bok choys coming in. Nice. Yeah, see, look at all those tomatillos. And they do have to be weeded here and there. We'll decide what we want to grow and what we don't want to grow. But when we pick it and weed it, we can just drop it, you see. Here's a cosmos. We'll keep that growing. So what's cool about this is it just keeps the moisture here. That moisture is not leaving too much. It's going to go back in the ground, add more nutrients. This organic matter will hold more moisture in the soil too itself. So we can come here and we can just weed what we want to weed. Like take out the thistles. So if we want to leave one of these tomatillos or two, we can. We got some tomatoes in now. And then, see, we got, I don't know exactly what it is. I thought those were supposed to be beets, but the greens are tasting quite spicy, more spicy than what I'm used to with beets. But we got purple mustard coming in. Yeah, all that is calendula flower. Whole bunch of calendula flower. It did the same thing, self-weeded, or turned itself into a weed. But that's okay because, again, it's holding the moisture in. And I can just pull it and drop it. The comfrey flowers you can put in food. They're great medicine. And we can see the kohlrabies popping up in there, coming along. And so you can see I thinned out some around those kohlrabies. And I just do a little bit each day, thinning those out and making it so that way they can grow more efficiently. But you see, like, everything is in here. See those bones? See, we got bones all over in the garden. And those are all slowly releasing nutrients. You see all the charcoal? This is all biochar. All that charcoal was part of the filtration system for the pond at one time. And then once it gets full of muck and everything, really, really high nitrogen, really good nutrients, then it gets put in the garden. So the filtration of the pond, the coop matter, all that just keeps going in here. And even the ducks themselves and the pigeons, the one that we've eaten or passed away or whatnot, their bodies go back into here. So it's a constant churning and eating from this little plot, which is really cool that we can produce so much in such a small area. See all the garlic coming in. We got thimbleberry, marionberry, red raspberries. It's like crazy. We got toothache and Thai basil and some peppers. And see these little shoots coming off here? We can dig these up, and then we can transplant those into pots. I'm going to transplant some along the fence back there to replace the blackberries. And that's another thing that could go to market and sell, is you can sell little plant starts, because every year you're going to have suckers popping up out of the ground, and instead of just composting them or destroying them, you can add a price tag on them by just throwing them in a pot and bringing them to a market, which is really cool. And look at how loaded that fruit is. This is going to be so loaded. So gearing this place up to produce so much food that we can pretty much eliminate the grocery store ourselves, and maybe even get to the point where we sell some of the excess and make extra money. So tatsoi and purple mustard greens, you see they're growing in here quite nicely. So look, see how dry that is? There's some moisture way down here, but they don't care. They'll just send their roots all the way down there. I just water them every other day. This thing doesn't hold much moisture. That's the one thing about it being up above the ground, is the water flows out and it escapes and leaves. When it's on the ground, the water will actually seep into the ground, and the ground's like just think of it like almost like a battery. It just holds that moisture there, so it'll stay a lot wetter easier. All right, let's get this filled with plants and get it watered. Thank you for watching the video. Hit that like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and just enjoy the projects, because we got them keep coming along. It's so nice. Won't be long, and these guys will be pollinating everything in here. Yeah, and then we'll have another beehive. And you gotta stay tuned and watch all of the videos. Peace out. See you next time.